it's great to have the name on my record, but everyone knows Larry Holmes was a legendary fighter, and if he was at his best, I couldn't stand a chance. He was a great fighter.
My father left home at my early age, and it was just my mother. My mother worked, she scuffled, she took every nickel and dime she could to clothe all of us. And remember, it was like 12 of us, 11 of us in the family, and we welfare, surplus, Salvation Armies, and handouts and whatever you want, or hand-me-downs. And that's the way we lived. And so I had something to fight for.
I started my boxing career in an anti-poverty program called the Job Corps. I entered the Job Corps to get a high school education because I was a dropout at 16. Lyndon Johnson started this program for underprivileged kids. I went in actually to get another chance to play football, but it just so happened I found boxing.
I went to college. I got tired of going to college, so I went home. My dad said, if you stay, you pay rent. So the next day I joined the Marine Corps. And as a result, I played football in the Marine Corps for one season. And then they started taking people off the team, and they started sending them to Vietnam. So I looked around, the only thing that was left was boxing. And if you became good enough, you became more or less propaganda for the Marine Corps, and they wouldn't send you.
I think boxing is the most outstanding game sports-wise in the world, and I mean kings and queens and rich and poor and the robbers and everybody else is in the boxing. And boxing has made a living to make money for everybody. So I had nothing bad to say about boxing but love it.
Just imagine, I had 112 amateur fights, all those pro fights you saw, and look at me. Look at my nose, perfect shape, lips, face. Now, I'm not boasting. It's hard to be humble when you're as pretty as I am. In 1954, the Columbia Gym, they call it, somebody stole my bike. There was a police officer downstairs named Joe Martin. He was training boxers and told me to learn to fight, so if I find the boy stole my bike, I could beat him up. I had medals, belts, titles, for my money, so I turned pro. 1961, $3,000. And my mother paid off some bills. I kept a couple hundred. I liked that, and I kept fighting. And went down to Florida with Angelo Dundee and started from there.
Oh, 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 let my people go. Get them out of the crowd.
And if this nigger thinks he can scare the niggers out, I'll also inform him that the white man can be stirred up to defend what is rightfully theirs.
I'm only bold and cocky before and after fight.
Let me see you close your mouth and just keep it closed.
Well, you know that's impossible.
No, keep it closed.
You know that's impossible. I'm the greatest. And I'm knocking out all bones. And if you get too small, I'll knock you out.
Now close your mouth, but just let me see if you can leave it closed for 10 seconds.
Well, that's impossible. You know that's impossible.
Henry Cooper's nothing to me. If this bum go over 5 rounds, I won't return to the United States for 30 days. That's final.
Okay, since you're not worried about this guy Cooper, how about when you get through with him? What are your plans after that?
Well, you're right. I'm not even worried about this big bum. Cooper will only be a warm-up until I get to that big ugly bear, Sonny Liston. Right, bodyguard?
Right.
I walked into London, England. I jumped out the airplane. picture, cameramen, everywhere I go. You can look in the gym today. The TV, the cameramen, everybody follows me. I'm so great. The 5th round came. Yeah, hit him. Yeah, I said, come on, sucker. Yeah.
Oh, there's a vicious cut over Cooper's eye. The referee's looking at it. He has to stop the fight.
Man said, break it up. I said, there he is. There he is. And walked on out of the joint.
Clay wins by TKO.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cassius Marcellus Clay. He's young. He's handsome.
They know it.
He's a poet, a prophet, and many people believe he'll be the next heavyweight champion of the world. I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cassius.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
Well, he told me to bet my life that you wouldn't go 3 rounds.
Well, if you want to lose your money, then bet on Sonny.
Oh, may I ask you this?
Because I'll never lose a fight. It's impossible. Tell him. It's impossible.
Never lost a fight in your life.
Ask any of my fans when was the last time they lost. I'm too fast.
Champion from
I'm
the crib.
king.
King
Born
of
the champ.
Born the champ from the crib. Ah!
And here in the 6th round, Clay has taken control of the fight.
Clay comes out to meet Liston, and Liston starts to retreat. If Liston goes back in his father, he'll end up in the ringside seat.
Sonny Liston has never before faced this type of opponent. Liston's timing is upset by the young challenger's hit-and-run tactics.
Clay swings with his left. Clay swings with his right. Look at young Cassius carry the fight.
Pandemonium has broken loose. Sonny Liston has not come out for round 7.
Yes, the crowd did not dream when they put down their money that they would see a total eclipse of the sun. I am the king of the world. Hold it. Hold it. You're not that great. I'm a bad man. Let's sing out here. So great, I don't have a mark on my face. Yeah. And I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world. I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me. Sonny, I shook up the world.
I was more of like a show shooter, a sharpshooter, a marksman. Everything that I went at that particular time, I made sure that it was on target.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Morning comes sunrise, shine upon my face. Here comes another day. Gotta move along.
I was the only guy in '64 who won a gold medal.
Second Liston fight, it was luck. It was luck, they said. Clay came beat Liston. So they came to roast the man. I said, I've invented the anchor punch. And it's so fast, slow motion cameras can't detect the speed.
A short, jolting right to the jaw, and Liston goes down. Champion refuses to go to a neutral corner, and referee Joe Walcott tries to push Clay away. Liston still hasn't heard a number and doesn't have the slightest idea what the count is.
I don't want to mess with your trainer. I just want you to know that from now on, you are the rabbit.
Floyd Patterson, the hare, the rabbit. George Chuvalo, the washerwoman. And during the times we fought, I gave my opponents names. And I said, after I retired, there'll never be another one. There haven't been nobody since me. Greatest. I'm pretty, tall, giant, full of fun. He's cocky. So ringside, I heard people say, knock the nigga out, hit the nigga. These certain rednecks in the crowd. And black people themselves, they were humble, they didn't boast. So when me, I am the greatest. I say things they want to say, but they're frightened. They want to say what I say. They want to talk back to the white master. They want to reject Vietnam. They want to be cocky. I want to be fearless. So they love me because they saw that in me. And this is what made me so popular. I never liked the word killing thing because my intention was to win, but never to kill. Even when I knocked the man out, I was happy to see him come back too. It's not the action that makes the thing right or wrong, but the purpose behind the action. My purpose is not to kill, just to win, look good, beat the guy. And only Allah, God knows my intention.
Are you taking Zora Foley too lightly?
Why would you say that?
Because every indication has been that you're confident that you can beat Zora.
I'm confident I can whoop all of them. This ain't nothing new. My image has been confident. What you trying to make it look like something new for? I'm always confident I can whoop all of them.
You're being extremely truculent.
Whatever truculent mean, if that's good, I'm that.
The question has been asked, what happens to a registrant who refuses to take the step forward at the induction ceremony?
We believe in obeying the laws of the land. We are taught to obey the laws of the land as long as it don't conflict with our religious beliefs.
Then he is returned to the ceremony room, given another opportunity to take the step forward which constitutes induction into the armed forces.
Whatever the punishment, whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
You were very, largely responsible for the black community rallying after the death of Martin Luther King to be a proud race. How do you feel about that comment, Kenny?
He gave up boxing for a while because of his religion. He was a man who believed in what he taught, what he said. Mm-hmm. And not many men will do that. Make a statement and stand by it no matter what.
You respected that?
I did.
George, can I ask you what it meant to you having a Muhammad Ali, a black leader? Did that mean something to you?
Limiting him as a boxer is injustice because he inspired people in basketball, football, even actors would see him and move up a notch. So this was probably one of the greatest men of all time.
As Kenny said, that you don't find a lot of people will give up anything, to give up what they worked so hard for, to lose it all, to try to prove a point.
I don't believe in, let's say, Muhammad religious. That's his religion, and if he believes that's good. But I think if he had he didn't have to go to war. He had to fight nobody, he had to shoot nobody. I think he could represent the blacks as one of the greatest champions that ever lived. Just don't let it go and wave his hands up high. He never put a gun in his hand.
Reggie, I can't take no more.
You gonna go after him?
Today, we're able to announce that we will have open and we believe operating this summer, coast to coast, some 2,000 child development centers serving as many as possibly 500,000 children. We called our program Project Head Start.
I am a product of a compassionate America. I'm proof that when a country does not give up on its underprivileged, good things can happen. Probably it was the style to be compassionate during the 60s when I got my push. Of course, things go in and out of styles, and probably the last few years it has not been in style to be compassionate. And of course, I think that things are leaning toward that way, and then when it does, everybody can comprehend people convincing the poor that they can. Right now, it's just not in style. Probably the greatest thing that when I look back on it, being a 19-year-old in the 1968 Olympics, you don't believe that you can do anything like that. That they put in that uniform on you with the USA and robe you down with a parade uniform, and it's like a dream, and it didn't end, even though to this day it hasn't ended. Some kids grow up knowing that they're an American. I grew up out of the gutter, robbing and stealing, hiding from the police. I was told at maybe 12 years old, one of my cousins caught me shooting hooky from school once. And I thought she was out of the house, but actually she was still there. I thought she had gone to work. I sneaked in the window. My mother had given me the lunch. I'd eaten my lunch, come back, sneak in the window to go to sleep. I hated school. And my cousin told me, when she called me, I tried to make an excuse like a guilty person do. She said, "Don't worry about it, you're nothing. You're never going to be nothing anyway." She said, "Go to sleep." She said, "Nobody from around here ever become anything but drunks."
That's it, over to the corner, the technical term. Referee stops contest.
Generally, we would bow to the audience or the judge to show our humbleness. This time, after I'd won the match, I actually had won. I bowed to the judge, and I had the flag on my side. You forget about the complexion and all of this. You want everybody to know what country you're from. And everybody started cheering, so I started waving the flag. No demonstration or anti-demonstration. It was just an emotional moment. I wanted everybody to know that I was from the United States of America.
We were named after our slave masters when we first was brought to America. We were robbed of all knowledge of ourselves. If I said, "Here comes Mr. Chang Chong," you'd picture a Chinaman. If I said, "Here comes Mr. Khrushchev," you look for Russian. If I said, "Here comes Mr. Goldberg," you look for Jew. If I said, "Here comes Mr. White Cloud," you look for Indian. If I said, "Here comes Mr. Castro," you look for Cuban. Here comes Mr. Lumumba, Mr. Kenyatta, you look for African, a black man. Now, what's your last name?
Whatever I get involved in, I want to be the best at it, and I want people to be satisfied.
I would like to hear this from you, and I want the world and the cameras to hear it. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world? One more time, we don't want no excuses. They may say the film was bad or the camera was broke. One more time, who's the champ of the world?
I just look at a fight at that particular time like it was my job. And I feel if I can do a good job with it, I have to be good. And I have to study it, and I pay attention.
I'm ready, ain't no doubt about it now. I'm ready, don't stop me now. I'm ready, go ahead, give it all you got, 'cause I'm ready. Please, I'm ready. I'm ready, giving it all I got, don't stop me, I'm ready. Ain't no doubt about it now. I'm ready.
And we fought in all the wars, and we still fighting in them, and still a nigga. What you mean if I believe in separation? I've recognized the fact that you believe in it. That's what your people believe in. What you mean you don't believe in it? No, you just talking crazy. Every city I go to, I can find a black neighborhood and a white neighborhood. And what you mean don't believe in it? How many Negroes live out here just in this big old neighborhood? You can't blame a black man for wanting to leave all this mistreatment. You must be crazy. So what you mean don't take white money? Only thing white about that money is the white pictures on it. What you mean white money? If that's the case, I should take off these clothes. You made them too. I shouldn't fly in your airplanes. What am I going to do? Just go out and lay down somewhere and hide in the mud hole?
Mentally, I was
say I think it's wrong, but I see why at the time the people in authority did what they thought was right. It's just too bad they didn't recognize me for doing what I thought was right. So it kept me out of the game a while, made the comeback bigger, and most people recognize me today mainly for my beliefs that stood up for more so than the boxing. So I didn't believe in the war. I knew it was wrong. We shouldn't have been there, and I could see it. And later, God made it where I turned out to be right.
Hell no! We make up the match. Hell no! We won't go. 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 We make up the match. Hell no! We won't.
These boxing authorities, people who will rank Joe Frazier over me and rank him the champion when I've never been beat. I have the belt in my living room that John L. Sullivan had, Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, Gene Tooney, Jack Johnson. Traditionally, I have the real belt. And for Joe Frazier to be a champion, he's got to beat me. See, those eliminations are only imitations. He's not the real champion.
It always been in my mind to face Muhammad because he was the guy that always on television running off at the lips and, and say what he can do. I said, I don't believe that.
Joe's gonna come out smoking, and I ain't gonna be joking. I'll be pecking and a poking, pouring water on his smoking. Then this might shock and amaze you, but I will destroy Joe Frazier.
Is Joe Frazier your cousin?
That's right. He sure is.
And you think your cousin can whoop me?
Uh-huh.
You really do?
Anybody on my...
Anybody on your what?
Anybody in my family, I think, except me.
Anybody in your family can whoop me?
Yeah, except me.
I'm sorry, Joe Frazier's your cousin. After I whoop Joe Frazier, you still gonna come in here and buy Champ Burgers?
Uh-huh.
If I beat him, you gonna still buy Champ Burgers?
Uh-huh.
All right.
But try not to.
Try not to. Try not to.
Make a face of a gentleman. You better watch out. You better not bring your hands up. Like that? Hold them like that. Bring them down. Raise your left leg. Left leg, right leg. And the other one. Now let's see your exercise. I want you to do it out here. Bend down 20 times, touching your toes. You do it 20 times. You said do what you do. Fast, come on, let's have some action. Quick, drop the ball.
Hold it again,
What happens if you're out there and the bell rings for the 11th? Isn't there a danger that you, having said it ain't going to go more than 10, that... So what do you think I must do? Turn around and jump out the ring, cut the bell, or something?
I'll show you what a real champion is. I'll show you what a real champion is. Take that thing on down. I ain't that heavy. Move it on down from this. I'll straighten it all out. 215 pounds. 215 pounds. You know he's in trouble. I gotta go now. Are we gonna go?
Frazier's not the easy target he used to be. He's bobbing and weaving all the time. And he's dangerous. This does punch the left foot. Muhammad Ali does punch the jab. And a good combination. First clinch of the fight. That was a hard left hook that caught Frazier. Frazier is more vulnerable in the first round, and Muhammad Ali knows that. Muhammad Ali shakes his head and is warned for holding behind the neck. Muhammad Ali has been missing.
This is Joe Frazier fighting me. Punches around. See? This is Joe Frazier. It's time to block him. Well, he's going to catch him, see?
And Frazier has gotten wild. He's lost the good timing he had earlier. Lost the rhythm. That one hurt. So did that. Muhammad Ali was wrong. He's holding on desperately. 30 seconds to go in the round. 30 seconds. Muhammad Ali is in real trouble. And Frazier gets into no attack. Attack is the referee. Time is important here.
Joe Frazier and me count of fours up. I've never been knocked out, never been really beat up. See, I was what you said you won't say about Muhammad Ali. I never took no beating. I never been beat up. I never been really knocked out when I had count 10.
Mohammed, what about that 3.5-year layoff?
Just saw 15 rounds with Joe. I hit him 3 times as one. Just as strong as he. We both tired in the end. I think he's a little tired. Because if he wasn't out to get me down like he did with the beginning of the round, he should have finished me. If he was really strong and had the strength, but I could see he wasn't. He was missing a lot of hooks. He was exhausted too. But he kept forcing it. But the 3.5 years, I think, did a lot, but I still have enough left to get away with things like that with Joe Frazier.
I really think the guy's kind of sick in the head, really. Because some part of the fight he rapped off and said, "Don't you know I'm God?" So he keeps saying this, you know what I mean? Every time he throw a punch, you know, "Don't you know I'm God?" And I got under some of them questions. I said, "Well, God, you're going to get whipped tonight."
Was there conversation during the 14 rounds?
I remember round 14, I would say, "I'm crazy. I'm bad." He said, "I'm crazy
Don't
too."
you know I'm God?
I'm not God. I wouldn't tell you, "Don't you know I'm God?"
Yes, you say.
I don't know.
You said it.
You heard something wrong.
Told me you were God.
I hit you so hard. You
you were that hard.
Muhammad, during that fight that you lost, you said you'd kiss his feet.
I lied.
Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt it was my duty to persevere, to make every possible effort to complete the term of office to which you elected me. In the past few days, however, it has become evident to me that I no longer have a strong enough political base in the Congress to justify continuing that effort.
What worries me now is this belly I got. It just won't come off. Usually when I was young, I could run it and sweat it off. I'm exercising, I'm running, I'm training, and every day I look at my belly, it's the same size. Better wake up and apologize.
Muhammad Ali's sustained attack is beginning to wear Ellis down here in round 12. Ali banging home short, accurate punches. Ellis trying to defend against one of the fastest heavyweights of all time. The game, Jimmy Ellis, a thoroughly beaten fighter as the referee stops the contest.
I mean, I was scared of Joe Frazier. Nobody could tell me anything weak about him because I know there weren't any weaknesses. He'd even beat Muhammad Ali at this point. And my scheme, my part of psychology, from that point on early in my career, I would stare the guy down. I started getting in their face, looking them dead in the eye. If they would drop their face, I knew then I had this edge. But when getting ready to fight Joe Frazier, I had to look him in the eye, but I was hoping he wouldn't look down because my knees were uncontrollable. I couldn't stop them from shaking.
I used to look at guys like Henry Armstrong and watch how these guys throw punches, and Sugar Ray Robinson, and see Henry Armstrong was a guy that never stopped. He throw like 300 punches in a round and steady moving. So I said, if I can be like that, and I can do that and keep that pressure on him, he'll eventually break.
This time, I had watched Joe Frazier fight, followed his whole career by being on his undercard. I remember seeing him fight Jerry Quarry, and I mean, Jerry Quarry was putting it to Joe Frazier like nothing. And after 4 or 5 rounds, Joe Frazier went in front of the camera, looked at his trainer and said, "Whoo," as though he liked it. And I kept thinking, I want to become champion, but I hope Joe Frazier die first.
Foreman having a very good round. Joe is down. Frazier went down. Taking the mandatory 8, Foreman in complete charge of the fight. Frazier fighting back gamely, but he's having trouble. There's the countdown, 20 seconds to go. Frazier down. Frazier's wobbling around. Taking the mandatory 8 count. The round is almost over. Foreman after him again. Frazier has never taken this kind of punishment. He goes down at the bell. Arthur McCann rules. Now he's taking the mandatory 8 count at the bell.
I remember that bell ringing and wondering, what am I going to do? And he came out and he threw this famous left hook and it just barely missed me. And it sounded like a pistol. No, like a rifle. A bullet just going past your head. And I knew then that if I didn't hurry up and get that fight over, that I stood not only a chance of losing the match, but really getting myself seriously hurt.
Frazier is being battered in Foreman's corner. Joe's about to go down. He does. He goes down again. Joe is desperately trying to get to his feet. He's on his feet. He's taking a mandatory 8 count. 45 seconds to go in the round. Joe's been down 4 times. There goes Joe down again. Joe bounces up. 5 times he's been down. Foreman at him again. It's hard to see how Frazier can last.
for the future. Will you fight Frazier again, or will you fight Muhammad Ali? Right now, that was my main goal, was to win the World Heavyweight Championship. You got it now.
I knew I could beat Ali. In my mind, I told myself I could beat him. If I had not have done it, I would have put on such a good show, or I would have done so much that I would have been seen and put in a position where I could do more and fight more. My person will become bigger.
See the way he's leaning over there, you can't land a right hand. He just keeps leaning over away from it.
Plus the fact that when you're trying to land that left hand, that right hand...
Well, like chess, I make a move to make him make a move so I capitalize. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to get hurt. I just... It was competition, one-on-one, highest form.
Left by Ali puts the fans out of their seats at San Diego.
This is heating up, a good exchange of right hands. Ali looking to counter his left jab with a right hand over.
Oh, the great right by Norton for the jaw of the ex-champion Muhammad Ali.
He rolled my jaw in round 2, and went 10 more rounds. I didn't know it was broke. I just felt a little burning pain, so I took my teeth and kept my teeth closed because it felt better. I was actually holding the jaw in place. They found out after the fact it broke. If I knew my father's jaw was broke, I would have stopped.
Why?
You think I'm a fool? Be fighting with a broken jaw, somebody hitting in my face, hard punches, and my jaw already broke, a man hitting on the tooth might break it more? Man, that's a dumb question.
Norton wins. Norton wins.
Ali, in my mind, is the reason that there's so much money involved in sports today. Not only boxing, but football, basketball. It all started with Ali and his gift for gab and his showmanship and his receiving large purses. Because before Ali, purses were very minimal. During Ali's time, they grew. After Ali, they just exploded.
In the closing seconds of this fight. It's coming here from Los Angeles, and the near-capacity crowd has really enjoyed it as we have. Less than 20 seconds now, and Norton coming back here, pushing the former champion against the rope.
He knows he's
everything he's got into it.
He knows he's blown this last round, and he's blown all chances because he gave away too much to start this fight.
Less than 10 seconds remaining now. Will not be a knockout. It must go the distance, 12 rounds. A tremendous finish here put on by the former champion, Muhammad Ali, as the bell sounds, ending the fight. A split decision for the former champion of the world. I'm sure.
I like the man quite a bit. When I had an accident, my wife told me he was about the third person to the hospital in L.A. By the grace of God, I'm still living, because I should have died. I was going on the freeway in L.A. on the Santa Monica freeway, and went to the top of the hill and something happened, went over the hill. It's about a 35-degree angle, and I went over the side, and there was one tree. I found it. I had a skull fracture, and broke my jaw, broke my leg, blood clots, you name it. I've always been very physical in my life. And to be that way so long, and then all of a sudden have everything turn, and then you're more or less crippled. You know, it's very traumatic.
I guess if you've been around this guy long enough, you know what I mean, somehow you could have a lot of hate in your heart, you know, when that bell rings. But otherwise, you look at him and laugh, there's something wrong with the guy.
Oh, the second fight, I was more prepared than any other fights. I forced the whole fight, and let's say he did all the whole, and he bugged me all night long. I'm glad I didn't have no money on me, because he probably would take some from me.
Ali and Frazier visited our studios while preparing for their fight number 2 and to analyze their fight number 1.
He
He's going to bring up the hospital. What difference? Why you bring up the hospital? I went to the hospital. Why you figure I'm ignorant? I went to the hospital. Why you think I'm ignorant? Man, you know, sit down. Sit down, man. Sit down, Joe. Why you think I'm ignorant? Sit down, Joe. Huh? Sit down quick. Why you think I'm ignorant? Sit, the brothers are here. You doing this too? No. Sit down quick, Joe.
Well, we're having a scene, as you can see, and it's hard to tell whether it's clowning or for real between the two fighters. This kind of thing has been going on all along in terms of promotion of a fight, and this time it seems to be for real, because Joe Frazier is really angry. I think that Ali is probably clowning.
And some people think maybe the referee or somebody has money bet on Frazier and did that on purpose, thinking I'll knock him out. Let's just say it's that.
Ali pouring it on here at the end of round 2. This is the 12th and final round. Frazier looking for that knockout here in round 12. Joe is going all out. Frazier tearing in there with dynamite punches. A punishing left to the head by Joe Frazier. Pulling out all the stops here in the 12th round. And there's the end of this sensational fight. Muhammad Ali wins a unanimous decision in one of the great heavyweight fights of all time.
For me, it wasn't a thing where I had to win. It was just a challenge for me to go in and take care of business and come out without getting hurt. There were three or four of my fights that I hit the man and it paralyzed him right there. It was a good shot, and I saw that he was gone. He couldn't do anything else, so I walked away.
Kenny Norton was a fearsome specimen to watch. He was a throwback to some of the old gladiators. So this man was really, you didn't want to, I was forced to fight the #1 contender. And that way I made up, of course, I was matched with Kenny Norton. Didn't want that match.
Round 2, scheduled for 15, the heavyweight championship of the world. Good right hand, the left-hand side of the face of Norton. Norton is a bit stunned as Foreman is taking off. And it looks like Norton has really been staggered and up against the rope. The referee is giving this a count. Yes, he'll have to take the 8 count. Okay, 17, and here we go with Foreman just banging on the second round. Norton goes down again. A left hand on the side of the head. Norton goes back and has to take another 8 count. No, he doesn't. He's like the referee is on the left hand. Right uppercut, a left jab, and this left falling to the canvas for the second time. Norton is in Queensville, he doesn't know where he is. It's up to 5, 6, I don't know if Norton can make it. It might be all over right here. It's up to 9, 10, and 8. Are they going to continue it, or are they going to stop it? It looks like it may be all over, and it is not over. George Foreman retains the heavyweight championship.
He hit Ken Norton just like he do all his opponents. Caught him out. Admitting it's hard, but if a man can stay out of the way for 5 rounds, stick him, move, stay out of range, be in good shape, he'll retire George Foreman. This man depends on getting this man in the first 1 or 2 rounds. If he don't do that, he's frustrated. Stick him with left jabs and right crosses, tie him up and box him, and you'll return.
Ali.
I'm the only man that's going to whoop George Foreman, and I'm going to whoop him of all places in Africa, in the Congo, where the Lumumba boys are.
Ali, now that you have your cool about you and you calm down at this point, I want you to answer this question. How could that man go 24 rounds with you and only 2 with the heavyweight champion of the world?
Because George Foreman is not as good of a fighter, scientific as I am, but I admit he's stronger and he hit harder. I'm not a hard puncher. I'm not known for being a hard puncher. I fought many men like Floyd Patterson, Zoe Foley, George Chuvalo, who are stronger than I am. Many I couldn't knock out, Sonny Liston. But I'll tell you this, boxing ability, speed, whooping him on points, for the distance if necessary. Then I'll whoop him.
Well, fighting in your home territory, you couldn't be any happier the way this is coming up in September.
Why would you call Africa my home territory?
You've been telling me that for 10 years.
That's right, and if you come over there talking like that, we'll cook you.
George, tell me about the fight that you had with Kenny Norton.
I really didn't want that fight, but I was put in a position where I had to take it by the governing bodies. And I didn't want to fight Norton. But he was advised, I figured because he is so good, and the word go around that George Foreman keeps his head straight up, that he would try for a knockout. I think if the fight had gone 5 rounds, he could have whipped me too. But he started throwing big hooks early, and we got into an exchange, and I got the better of him. And I kept thinking, I remember I knocked him down. I said, I better get him while he's down, too. I even got him then. I didn't want him to get up.
Oh, fart.
I didn't want him to get up because I knew if this guy get warmed up, this fight would never end.
Did you try to go blow for blow?
I was going to go out, act like I was going to go toe-to-toe, make him load it up, back off, and counter, and use my hook. But as you saw in the fight,
when he loaded up,
I backed up, and kept backing, and I stumbled.
Of course, I had knocked out Joe Frazier and beat him convincingly, of course. Then I'd knocked out Kenny Norton, who was, I figured, the greatest physical specimen one could ever look at. And I was kind of afraid of Kenny Norton, but I did win the boxing match. I was able to eliminate guys pretty easily who had really given Muhammad Ali a whipping. So people were telling me, George, be careful, don't kill Muhammad. He's old, take it easy.
The adjectives used in the press has been beautiful. The more strong man they make this guy, the better I like it, because my father's got plenty to shoot for now. He's the underdog twice, going to shock the world and become the heavyweight champion of the world again. I've always said he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. He has to lick Foreman to make the press admit this.
I've been working 4 months for this fight. My weight today is 214 pounds. That's fight weight already. I'm way ahead of schedule. My timing, my accuracy, my reach will be 1.5 inches longer. The man is slower. The man is flat-footed. The man don't stand a chance. The stage has been set. This man is supposed to annihilate me. 10 years from Sonny Liston, I was supposed to get at that time. I think it's befitting that I go out of boxing just like I came in, shocking the world by beating a big, bad, ugly monster that nobody could beat.
I got into Africa 15 days prior to the boxing match, 10 days prior to the boxing match. I suffered a cut, and they wouldn't let me out of Africa. I found out quickly that all the airlines flying in and out were controlled by the people and the president of Zaire or whatever, and George Foreman could not leave town.
1 minute left in round number 1. The heavyweight championship between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, live via satellite, direct from Zaire, Africa. That punch did no damage. That one did. 2 wild right hands taken on the side of the head of Muhammad Ali. Ali continues to try to tie his man up. Zach Clayton separates him. Wild left hand, vicious hook. There's a real strong right hand just underneath the heart. And Muhammad Ali is taking some punishment now. About 25 seconds left in the round. Ali, face left, goes to straight right hand. That right hand lead has George Foreman slightly confused, but a straight left jab thrown by Foreman. Has Ali in the corner. Ali dances back, hangs on. What a tremendous face in round number 1. A hook to the body of Muhammad Ali. Zach Clayton, the referee, separates them. About 8 seconds left in the round. Round 1, Foreman and Ali ending round 1.
I realized 7 rounds of this, I'll be finished. So I realized this, I'll stop
and let him run his energy while I lay on the ropes doing the gimmick called the rope-a-dope.
Foreman setting him up against the rope.
I hit him with a good shot. You know what he told me? That's all you got,
Why he continues to taunt him. Ali's super confident. Foreman looks unusually slow with his hands. Look at this. All of a sudden he opens up. 4 punches downstairs on Ali. Ali, of course, has protection around that area he was being hit by. Ali showing the ability to punch inside against George Foreman. Now the fight is move across the ring. A right hand lead by Foreman this time. Another right hand. A good right hand taken on the left side of the cheek, on the jaw of Muhammad Ali. The best one so far for George Foreman. I don't know if to start, but it did spin the head around close to Muhammad Ali. I have to say the heaviest punch so far was definitely planted by Foreman in that exchange. Ali trying to hang on. Might have been just stunned by that blow. Vicious right hand. Twisted by the nose of Ali. Ali continues to talk, continues to taunt. 30 seconds left in round number 3. Foreman looking for his opening to unload that left hand underneath the heart of Ali and drop the right. There he goes to the right, but it just didn't land that time. Very even fight. 10 seconds left now in round 3. Ali showing his domination. The hands to the left, right, left, rotate. The head of Foreman. Foreman again takes the right hand.
I remember hitting him so hard in his chest. And it, not only did it hurt him, it sort of dehumanized him. He looked at me as if to say, I'm not going to take that from you. And he came after me, he remembered the pain, and then he said, forget it, and he covered up.
A couple of my trainers, get off the ropes, move. So I told him I'm going to fight my way, I'm going to do it my way, and shut up.
Ali hanging on, getting away with it. The left hand taken on the side of Ali's cheek. The left hook again.
I went to finish him off. 2 rounds, I said, I'm going. I don't care about the 5, 6 rounds. I'm going to knock him out in 2 rounds. 3rd round, he was still there. I said, well, who cares? I'm not going to pace myself. I'm going to knock him out. Finally, after 5 or 6 rounds, I was burnt out. This experienced great athlete withstood all of this pain because I hit him with some of the hardest shots I'd ever delivered on a man. It would knock him back and out. He would literally stand there and wake up again.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he worked over the shoulder of Foreman.
I burnt myself out, and he caught me with a right hand just as I was walking and following him without any respect, just trying to get one shot in. Tricked me, moved off the rope with this lightning speed that he was not supposed to have at this age. 1-2 combination caught me right on the chin. I said, I can't believe it. I hit the floor. Actually, I hit the floor again with my fist. I waited for my corner to tell me to get up. A boxer is not supposed to get up. He's supposed to wait until his corner say get up. My manager told me to get up. He counted for me. When I jumped up, the fight was over. I had lost the heavyweight championship of the world to Muhammad Ali, and there he was with his hands raised. And I had to eat crow feet.
Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me. I told you I'm the real champion. I told you I'm the champion of the world. All of you bow. All of my critics crawl. All of you suckers who write the Ring magazine.
All you who criticize Muhammad Ali, I want you to bow, crawl, because I'm back. Thought I was gone, thought I was old, washed up, thought I couldn't talk no more, thought I was through. And then tell the whole world I'm back. It might be the first black man to go on the moon.
Come to Muhammad Ali.
Do you think to this day that the ropes were made loose that night on purpose?
Everybody needed an excuse. I couldn't live with myself without an excuse, so I blamed it on the rope, I blamed it on everything. That devastated me. I was undefeated. I never had lost a boxing match.
You had a difficult time with it.
And so I couldn't adjust to that. So you give me an excuse, I was picking them up out of the air. Oh yeah, my shoes were too big, anything.
People want to see me and Joe Frazier. They still think Joe Frazier can beat me. And I got his conscience right here to keep me on guard. See, here's the way he looks when you hit him. Come on, gorilla, this is a thriller.
I think a lot of people thought, and myself included, that you didn't like it. And you used it.
No, I didn't like it.
You used it to get yourself fired up.
You trying to start something?
No.
No, I'm just asking a question.
No, I really didn't like it because, number one, I know the fact that it wasn't the base of trying to get any more people, let's say, butts in the seats, because we all had guaranteed. I know that he was out to get me and out to hurt me more than anything else. The words was more hurting to me than, let's say, the punches.
In the pre-fight commentary.
That's right. The punches mean nothing to me, you know.
What were some of the things that bothered you?
He called me Uncle Tom. I never knew what Tom was. You know, I thought it was a guy that peeped through windows or something, you know. And I never peeped at no windows.
It's peeping Tom.
Same thing. He called me Tom. I thought it was peeping Tom.
Our main event will go this handsome trophy donated by...
People tell me, and I think the boxing authorities also admit that the Frazier fight in the Philippines was about the best, action from round 1 to round 13. Every minute, moving and punching.
But it was the same thing again. I was behind in that particular fight. I was the points I was behind in that fight, you know. And it was like maybe 100 to 25 or 30 degrees in the ring or more.
Ali won by the referee for grabbing around the neck.
And it's not really in the disrespect to him, but I feel comfortable about it because we had 3 fights, and you look back on the films today and you watch them, then you know who won them all.
Frazier looked awful tired, is puffed around both eyes now. Badly hurt.
It was just as many blacks had want to see his lips closed as white. You know, it didn't make no difference because he didn't believe in whether you were let's say white or black. He was more in his religion. That's what it was. If I wasn't a Muslim, you know, you wouldn't move. You were just bad as being white. You know what I mean? Yeah.
within a punch or two of going down. It's all over.
I bet 2-1 for you.
Although you don't need the money.
Joe Frazier still wants to meet me today. Oh, that may be a good joke. If you're watching this, after I come back from Kong, your son, I'll come back for you. So I'm not going to say nothing bad about Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier, I love you. We're brothers. You're my man. And I ain't going to let this man start another fight. It's always some white man trying to get two brothers to fight. I ain't going to let this white man get me in trouble.
And here comes Joe Frazier, a man who has brought nothing but decency and integrity and indefatigable effort to his trade. And look what he's done. Look what Joe Frazier has done. He shaved his head. Frazier trying to fight back. Foreman dominating. Round 5. Foreman got in, good coming, and again, you saw it there. Frazier's hurt. Frazier's hurt again. One right hurt Frazier. Frazier's down. Frazier is down from a right. The mandatory 8 count. George Foreman looking revived tonight. Frazier getting the left. Frazier getting the right. Frazier taking it from George Foreman. Foreman again with the right. Second knockdown in the round. One more knockdown. This fight is over. George Foreman struggling to Frazier, struggling to his feet. George Foreman poised in the neutral corner. Look at him. In total command now. Says the fight is over. George Foreman wins in the 5th round by a technical knockout.
Over 10 years ago, I stopped boxing. At an age where everybody said, hey, you shouldn't do it. I became a full-time evangelist. And I would read articles about George Foreman as a coward. He's scared. He's trying to make him an excuse. He's got a crutch. He's a coward. Now he's using the crutch as the Bible. The Bible is a crutch. I had to eat all that up, and I did eat it for 10 years. And I took on that challenge and was a full-time preacher and minister and took care of churches and built them and traveled around the world, giving my testimony when a lot of people looked at me oddly. That was the true challenge. The true challenge was not the staring Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali down, but picking up a Bible and going around the country telling people that God loves you.
I feel good. How I look? I feel good. When I walk about 12 miles in the morning from here to Holiday Inn. About 12 miles. And some days I go to gymnasium and work out 12, 13 rounds on the bag jump rope. I don't feel no physical weakness or sickness. They say I have Parkinson's syndrome, but I don't shake. And people with Parkinson's, that's what I'm supposed to, sometimes third speech, and I believe that I have something. It's nothing critical.
As long as red, I'm gonna see.
I feel that my main asset is going to be given by Ali because of the fact that, as I stated before, that he's going to stand there more now. He says he's not going to move as much, and he's going to walk to me more. So therefore, his head is going to be my main asset.
On his toes, Thornton still doesn't know how to solve the style. Thornton's got to trap him on the ropes. Al grabbed him.
I won one fight, and the second fight, he won my split decision, correct? coming either way. But the third fight, Yankee Stadium, I thought I won.
Sliding along and punching all the time. He's sliding. 55 seconds to go. Ali's won at least 2/3 of this round. Can he keep it up? Can Norton do something spectacular?
The fight, more or less, was at a turning point in Ali's career. If he had lost, he would have taken a lot out of the sport. So I wasn't just battling the man. It was the game.
Norton's grasp. Oh, he threw a haymaker but missed. Ali comes back with a flurry. Well, not landing, but big foot. Another big right hand. Another big right hand by Norton. All he did was catch air with those right hands. He's desperate. He knows he's blowing the title. But another right hand. Left one connects, and he misses with a left and almost falls down as Ali pushes him off of the jet. A good right hand catches Ali, and the crowd comes to its feet with less than 10 seconds. Ali holding on. Norton is desperate. 6 seconds, 5. The bell is about to ring to end this fight at Yankee Stadium, and we'll be back with the decision. Oh, Norton's screaming at him. Muhammad Ali, still heavyweight champion of the world, and in his corner, Norton is crushed.
He had no name, no prestige, no threat, so I said, I'll beat this guy. So I didn't really train like I should.
Tremendous action by the champion here. Where has he been for the previous 14 rounds? We are under 40 seconds. Another desperation left, missed by the challenger. Ali outward, but still pursuing, hoping, praying that perhaps one of these punches will connect and the gallant challenger, Leon Spinks, will fall. 24, 23 seconds. Spinks dead tired. It looks like he was out, but he came right back, and now it's Ali that's showing the signs of weakness. He didn't, that's really a shuffle forward. Now it's 13 seconds. Now Leon, having him against the rope, is throwing everything he can. It's 8 seconds away, or he's lost it. He's just hammered Ali. Ali looks like he's in trouble. He's leaning against the rope. It's 2 seconds. It's 1, and at the bell, a tremendous right hand. Look at Ali stagger back.
People thought I'd throw the fight some do with Spinks first time, because I lost close and came back and beat him to win the title 3 times. They think that was a setup. It wasn't. If it was, I wouldn't have brought it up.
Neither fighter has been really hurt. There are no cuts, and a great fight with less than a minute by Ali. But Spinks coming back, going after the former champion. Probably Owen Zane. 30 seconds to go. And unless Leon Spinks has got some superhuman effort in him, he can kiss his crown goodbye. Good right hand by Spinks. The old butterfly is spinning again. Well, Bobby, there it is, 11 seconds. 11 up in no knockout, that's for sure. And then there was going to be one. 8, 7. That is about it, folks. Look at Ali is the world heavyweight champion for the 3rd
It's my world. Don't you come a messing with my world. I don't appreciate the fact some people just can't see. It's hurting you and me. It's my world, your world, our world. One world, my world. It's my world. Don't you come a messing with my world. 'Cause it's my I don't appreciate the fact some people just can't see. It's hurting you and me.
I fought Kenny in 1978. I was in good shape, but I had a problem. I had one arm. I pulled a muscle 6 days before the fight, and I didn't really want anyone to know it. And so I just did road work and go in the gym and shadow box. And when Kenny Norton time to work out, I go over and try to take his concentration away from him because I wanted to take away from the rumors that were going around with me hurting my arm or something other. meant something to me when I fought those guys. It meant something to me when I went in the ring with Kenny Norton and Muhammad Ali and was a sparring partner for Joe Frazier. And when I walked into the room and George Foreman says, Larry Holmes, you know, it means something.
I never was serious enough about boxing. I never really put myself into it to the point where it was that or nothing.
This has been a great boxing show. Both fighters courageous as Holmes comes back, scores a good shot. He's getting into trouble. Yes. He's going to follow up. Uppercut scores. Running out of time, and that's it. It's all over. Larry Holmes has done it. We have a new heavyweight champion.
Well, I knew that I could beat Muhammad years before I fought him, a couple of years before I fought him, because I was his sparring partner. And being a sparring partner, I got the opportunity to watch him, to learn from him, and to be around him a great deal.
In the blue corner, the challenger, the three-time heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. Fighting out of Easton, Pennsylvania. He is going for a record 8 straight KO in the heavyweight title defense. He is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Larry, the Easton Assassin, Holmes.
Whether Ali can pressure Holmes early enough to get to him to cause him trouble. He wants to prove he's got it over Ali.
To me, he's a legend. He was a legend. He's still a legend. And you don't want to fight anybody like that, especially a guy who helped you.
But Ali hasn't thrown any punches yet either.
The time was off, and he saw the punches, couldn't take it. They tell me that's old age. You see it and you can't take it. See it coming, you can't get away. That was age.
I think he popped him pretty good.
To the closing seconds now in round one.
I didn't have no charisma, they would say. They didn't want me to have charisma. I had charisma, but in my own way. I had the charisma. I didn't want to go out and say, I am the greatest. See, Muhammad did that. That was his thing. And if I did that, they would say, you still in the line from Muhammad Ali. And if I say, Muhammad Ali float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, but don't forget he met Larry, they would say, now you're riding poems, trying to be like Muhammad Ali. So, you know, everything that I said and done, I was on the border. I was right on the edge. I could fall right off. And so, therefore, I tried to stay away from the press as much as I could, because any little thing that I said would hurt me.
When I took the name Muhammad Ali, and people heard the name Muhammad Ali in America, a champion, all the Egyptians says Muhammad Ali's Muslim, all the Arabians, Indonesians, Pakistan, Africa, and Libya, all the Afghanistan, Morocco, Pakistan, they all said Muhammad Ali, a Muslim, a world champ, his first time. That made me famous.
I think it survived.
I always fought a fair fight. I trained too hard for the fight. I didn't make an excuse. I should have did better. I was more worried about my weight than really conditioning.
Larry just continues to tee off the whole story of the fight. And Holmes throwing punches and Ali doing nothing, just taking shots.
100 degrees heat and didn't sweat. Something's wrong.
Come on, that's it. Dig in, dig in. Bring it up, Big Jack. Here he goes down.
His punches, he's taking his dues, but it's just the same now.
He could lay down as soon as he found out that his arms weren't working. He's staying there. Title is one thing. It's not like losing a job or losing your life or losing your wife. He said that's lost. He handled it with dignity.
Check him out. And Angela wants to stop the fight. And now I'm arguing with him.
Champion, the people's champion, as I wanted to be while I was fighting. A guy who gave opportunities to fighters that wouldn't have got opportunities. A fighter who accomplished and set examples. A guy who walked the road that he wanted to walk.
I want them to have the record straight that I was a good boxer and that I did fight some of the top contenders and that I did fight for the championship of the world and won it fair and square. If I can be remembered and have my name called in the same fashion as, like I said, Jack Dempsey, Muhammad Ali, and Joe Frazier, I'll be a happy man. I'll be pretty contented with that. I don't want to be remembered as the greatest at all. I just want to be remembered as a good boxer.
An intelligent being, a caring being, an individual, even though he was very competitive, I would say in his heart that he never wanted to injure anyone, and that he was a man who believed in God.
Boxing is good to me. I love it. It just bothers me when I hear people trying to shut it down. I mean, if you didn't make it good or you didn't make a couple of bucks and you wasn't a good leader, that don't give you the right to knock it down, because boxing have put a lot of bread in a lot of people's pocket. Same thing as love.
Listen, I don't have to say I'm the range. When I quit boxing, the game died. Didn't it die? The Tyson came along. But still, when you watch Tyson, he's good, but he's no Muhammad Ali.